Hey y'all, it's Cidnee of Arcana, and this is another edition of Tarot and Transits. We're chatting about Mercury moving into its home sign of Gemini, so if that's something you're interested in, make sure you stick around and like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into this energy on this edition of Tarot and Transits. Okay, home sweet home. Mwah. Mercury has moved into Gemini, which is its home sign, and it loves it here. It feels comfy, it feels jokey, it feels fun, it feels vibrant, it feels alive, and it feels efficient, liking to get things going, right? When I think of Mercury and Gemini, it's like, let's talk about what we need to talk about, y'all. Let's have the gift of gab. What do we need to know? Who do we need to tell it to? What do we need to be listening to? New things, refreshed ideas that are coming back up. You know, Mercury just really works well in Gemini because Gemini is in that airy energy of flexibility, getting new information, making changes on the fly, shifting your perspective, looking at all sides of things and being able to balance those two things, integrating them so that things can be more harmonious. It's like I feel like a pop quiz and you're just ready. You just know all the answers. You already studied. So you were like, oh, this is no worries. I got all the answers. I finished it in 10 minutes. We're done here. Give me my A. That's the Gemini energy I feel when it moves into Mercury. It's like, I know everything, or I know enough of things to get what I need done in a way that's going to be effective and helpful to moving things forward. And then also giving myself a little room to not be so restricted with how I say something, when I say it. It's like, okay, I didn't say it perfectly, but you got the gist, right? Like, it's that type of energy, and I love that because they say that Gemini energy is like the jack of all trade, master of none. That sounds a little like pejorative, like you're not a master because you know a lot of things, but it's more so like you have this insatiability about like wanting to know things. Like, I want more. Tell me this, tell me that. I want more information. I want more experiences. I want to talk to more people. I want to go more places. I want to have more fun. And like, that's great. And if we have more of something, we don't necessarily spend all of our time doing one thing, right? We want to be able to fit it all in. So that is the efficiency I feel that Mercury and Gemini has. It's like, we can do all the things that we need to do and have all the conversations and have all the ideas, but it's in a way that is not like we're spending a lot of time on everything because we want to get it all in. And that's what makes it so fun. That's what makes it so vibrant and like effervescent. It's like things are happening. And so Mercury is helping that happen, helping us have more easygoing conversations where they don't feel like, oh my God, this is so serious. We can be more playful and have jokes. I know y'all have some Gemini friends. They're gonna be funny. Hands down, no questions asked. They're going to make you laugh. Someone has Mercury placement in Gemini, they're going to be funny because it's that wit and it's the quickness of how their brain is working and processing that allows them to have that humor locked and loaded and ready to go. You feel me? So that's kind of Mercury and Gemini. I really just want to see what the cards are saying. I want this video to feel efficient in the sense of the time frame that I'm like doing it in. I'm not rushing, but this is the energy, right? I'm in the mercurial energy of Gemini, so it is quicker. It is more like boom, bam, bop, right? You know, like in your face. Let's get to it. It's energetic. There's a lot going on. We got things to do, places to go. And look what's on the bottom of this deck we're going to use when I picked it up. The Knight of Swords. Quintessential Mercury and Gemini vibes. Quick, efficient, intentional, and gonna get there. Okay? I got something to say. I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to be out. Bye. So that's really cool that it's on the bottom of this deck before we start to shuffle. That's a good pick. And the Magician, which is ruled by Mercury. Wow. Spirit is showing out. Okay? I love that. That means we have the right deck. We're going to get the right shuffle, y'all. Let's see these vibes. Mercury in Gemini. It should be in Gemini, I believe. I think it's only staying for 2.5 or so weeks. So it's even moving quickly. Look, the Knight came back on the bottom. It's even moving quickly through this transit even. So let's get all that we can get out of these 2.5, 3 weeks with this transit going on, so we can, you know, say what we need to say, have the conversations that we need to have, open new doors, begin some things, make some transitions, some changes into a place that feels much more aligned, centered with our ideas and what it is that we want to be bringing to life through our brains, through our creation, through our imagination, through our sense of wonder. So let's see, what is the Fool 2.0? Starting something new again. And the original Fool's on the bottom. So during this season with Mercury and Gemini, we may be going back because we have the mental capacity to like pick something back up. So we might be picking something back up, revisiting it, saying like, you know what, let's give this a go again. It could be a relationship, it could be a project, it could be signing some contract that you put off for a while. It could be making plans for something, but there's something here about picking things back up or adding on to your to-do list in a way that's like, okay, now I can actually do it. Because we have the Fool, the original Fool, the 2.0 is a bonus card in this deck, that's saying like, let's go. Like, let's get into this new kind of like energy. Let's take that leap. Let's go for it. This dog. I mean, hilarious, which is why I chose to use these cards, because they're so playful and whimsical and totally Gemini vibes. And so we have this new energy, the Fool and the Fool 2.0 coming out. I feel like everything is possible, infinite possibility. Like I keep saying this, the world is our oyster. Like what do we want to do? We can do it. We can think it, we can dream it, we can have it, we can see it, we can speak it, we can be it. You know, it's like, what do we want to do? And going for it and opening up those doors, starting those conversations. So when we get into that Cancer energy, we can move forward with it with our heart, like in alignment with our brain. So I'm loving this. Let's see what else is coming out. The 7 of Pentacles. I'm going to finish shuffling because that Fool 2.0 flipped out. And then the regular Fool's on the bottom. So that was just like in a message. And that's kind of that Gemini energy, right? Like we get a little message here. Then we're going to shuffle again and see what else is coming out. It's because we can do that. We can do that. We can change it up. We can switch it up. We can be flexible. We don't have to be so strict in how we do things and how Spirit communicates with us and how we get our messages. And it feels like our intuition is more like it's quicker. It's sharper, you know? Look, y'all, it's the Knight of Swords again. Our intuition is quicker. It's sharper. It's like, I don't have to sit here and overthink about something. I'm just going to go for it. A lot of times Gemini energy is like that. I'm just going to go see. I'm just going to go like up to them and like say something. And like that is what allows things to actually move and get going when you don't overthink and you're not sitting there like, what if this and this? That's like the other side of Mercury, right? That's the Virgo side of Mercury. The Gemini side of Mercury is like, we can think about it later. Like we can think more fully down the line later. This is air energy. We want to get in there. We want to swirl around in it. We want to feel it. We want to say it. We want to experience it. And we want to see what that can create, right? When you just go and you're being innovative and you're going out there and you're just rocking it. Like Gemini energy is about using your words in a way that just come naturally and just flow out of you. And like your brain, your thoughts, your ideas are just flowing. They're just moving in a way that feels organic, but like also inspiring. Like, ooh, wow, what a good idea. So when I think of Knight of Swords, especially in this mercurial Gemini energy, I think of like rappers, okay? I talked about rappers a bit, I think, in the Gemini Sun video, but rappers, when they're freestyling, right, they are coming off the dome. They are just going, what is coming to their mind, and that is what makes it so amazing and magical. And it's like, yo, what? Because there's no time to think. You just have to go and flow, right? That's why it's called a flow. So a rapper's flow is just their organic, natural way of expressing themselves. So Mercury being in Gemini is that flow. What is your flow? How are you moving through the world? How are you communicating through the world without overthinking, without, getting all the information? It's more so like, what do you already have within you that you can express and create from that, right? Like a rapper, right? Like they go in the booth, they're like, okay, here's a theme, boom, let's just see what comes up. And then they create some fire shit most of the time, right? And then sometimes it's not that great, but it's like, so it came out, it's there, do with it what you may. It may not be the best, but I allowed myself to be in the flow, to be adaptable and flexible and mutable and not rigid around like, no, that's not perfect, that didn't make any sense. It's like, so you said it, and that is an expression of yourself, and that's freedom. What? The Tower. Okay, so maybe this transit is going to finally shake some shit up because we're just saying what we need to say instead of overthinking it. So that could be very possible. I could definitely see that being a possibility. It's like when you're not in this Mercury and Taurus where you're like taking all your time to think about what you want to say and you're just saying shit, it could definitely create a tower. The tower doesn't have to be something negative. It could be surprising, like, oh shit, you like me too? Cool, bro. Like, let's see where this goes. Or it could be like, I hate you and I want to break up. Like, who knows the type of tower moment that could be created with this, but just be aware that when we say what we really mean without a filter, things can get like shooken up. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because what good is it for things to just remain if you're holding back just out of fear or worry that it's going to like shake things up? Maybe we need to shake things up. Maybe this Mercury transit saying like, hey, say it, say it, say it. So you can see what happens when you do, because it could be a pleasant surprise, right? You never know the infinite possibilities. The world is our oyster. We don't know, closed mouths don't get fed vibes, but it's more so like, you know what? I'm going to just go with my flow. I'm going to freestyle this and we're going to see what happens. And it could create some chaos or it could create some magic. And we're just going to see where the chips fall. The Knight of Pentacles. I feel like this has to do, because I see the blue and the blue. I feel like this has to do with like, okay, we sat with what we wanted to think about and say during the transit of Mercury in Taurus. Now it's like, it's time to say it. Okay, you thought about it enough. You've been stewing in it. So just say it. So just say it so you can at least get it out of the way and see if it's going to progress things, stop things, help, whatever. But it needs to be said. Six of Pentacles, another blue background. So something that maybe we finally need to give voice to. When I see this, like Six of Pentacles is like giving and receiving. It's a reciprocal energy. So I feel like finally saying something, giving our perspective, our flow, our opinion on something maybe is necessary. Maybe it's needed. Maybe this other person or this other situation is like, well, what do you think? And it's like, well, I had time to think about it here in Mercury and Taurus, and now this is what I think. And that, I feel, allows us to move forward in a way that we don't have to hold on to things anymore, right? The Ten of Swords is coming out. Whatever we need to give to or get off our chest or express or start or open up about, it finally lets us get out of our head around like sitting with something and finally being able to, Three of Wands, move forward. So I feel like this transit is helping us move forward in a way that is giving us what we want, even if it's packaged in a way we weren't expecting it or in a way that we weren't planning. It's like, look, we gotta tie a bow on this. I gotta say what I need to say. So we can figure out where we're going and what's next and if this is going to work or it's not going to work, however this resonates. But This is a very fast moving energy, a very intuitive energy. And it's like, be the rapper in your life, right? Like, this is about going with your flow and just saying what you need to say, whatever comes up organically, and like being okay with what happens after that. Because if it's your truth, right? Communicating what you really want to say without having guardrails up can help free you to what can be or what has been restricting. So don't be fearful of like saying what you need to say just because it might change some things up. At least you'll get some clarity on like what isn't working or just like get it off your chest, right? So you can move on. 3 of Wands. So I love this. I think we're going to be moving things forward with this energy. Look, Ace of Pentacles is the next card out. It gives us a new beginning. It gives us a new beginning here. But it starts with us just freestyling and saying like, okay, this is what's been on my chest. I got to get it out. And it may shake some stuff up, but that's okay because it's going to plant a new seed. Because now we're actually giving to what our truth is instead of like holding it in because of maybe fear or worry of starting something new or picking something back up. So that is your mercurial reading in the sign of Gemini. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop me a sword or a Gemini symbol in the comments or a brain. Cool. Okay. Heart you guys. See you next time. Bless. Bye.